This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association. Your daily recap of the information that affects Iowa's farmers, producers, and consumers, right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning broadcast team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, and Mark Magnuson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Riley Smith.
Good day and welcome to Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. Today is Wednesday, July 3rd of 2024. We're so glad you can join us for today's show. Of course, this being the last show before the Independence Day holiday. In today's episode, I visit with Cynthia Farmer of the Center for Rural Affairs as we talk about a cover crop cost share program that they have for farmers right now. But first, before we get into any of that, let's take a look at the closing markets.
It's time now for the Ag Matters PM Closing Market Summary, your source for market analysis and settlement prices from the day's trade in Chicago, courtesy of the folks at agmarket.net.
At the end of another trading day in the ag marketplace, we're here with Kenan Layden of agmarket.net. Kenan, of course, today being the day before the Independence Day holiday and the markets being off for that, what have we seen in the grain markets so far today?
Grain markets today, corn and wheat were pressured. Wheat may be reacting to, a higher production number coming out of Russia on some estimates. Corn, non-threatening weather, and that big stocks and acres report last week are still putting pressure on the market. Soy was up, left by soy oil and maybe a China-Indonesia trade war with some tariffs being placed on palm oil.
And then, of course, we have that holiday coming up tomorrow. Markets will be trading again on Friday. What exactly is the timeline for the trading sessions for the rest of this week?
Yeah, no night trade tonight. No in the grain markets and livestock markets. No trading tomorrow night or day session, and a cold open on Friday morning.
And then, of course, something else that the markets are keeping an eye on right now is with the timing of the flooding that's been hitting Minnesota, Iowa, parts of South Dakota as well. We're wondering about those grain conditions. Now, obviously, that's not been in the marketplace yet, but this is going to be probably one of those situations where the markets might even wait to see what happens there, because we do know that the damage is extensive.
Yeah, that crop conditions comes out Monday night, and those reports, the market does react to those reports, and conditions have been good even with the flooding. Conditions across the Midwest have been great. So looking at different states, so we were looking at a dashboard this morning the JSA, our sister company, put together, and whether you agree with those numbers or not, they've been pretty positive even given the flooding in those areas.
And then on the other side of the marketplace, in the livestock complex, Kenan, what do we see going on in the cattle and hogs today?
Yeah, cattle completed another strong day after big gains yesterday. Had some more big gains today. Box beef was very strong. So those cash values, again, sound like a broken record, but they are definitely supporting those cattle prices. Hogs were pretty flat on the day. Some big export numbers the market may be looking to on Friday just to see what that hog demand is. And hopefully we found a bottom in hogs, at least in the near term. So they found some support, we're hoping.
And then, of course, most of that demand would be figured into the markets already. But with tomorrow being the 4th of July, a lot of grilling goes on. So hopefully some demand has been factored in there as well with a little bit of extra support, right?
Yeah. Some people have been talking about how, some of the beef prices, box beef prices may be artificially inflated, ahead of the 4th of July here, just like they were ahead of Memorial Day. But, even since Memorial Day, cash has continued to trade very strong.
All right, Kenan, lots of great information today. For those of our listeners and our viewers who would like to get in touch with the folks at agmarket.net, how can they do that?
Yeah, check us out on the web at agmarket.net. And for me and the rest of the Ag Market team, have a good 4th of July.
Thanks again, Kenan, for taking the time to visit with us today, and we look forward again to getting more market analysis from you soon.
All right, thank you.
That again was Kenan Layden of agmarket.net. We'll take a look at how those numbers close through the market window at iowaagnet.com. And that's been a check of the markets here on Ag Matters PM. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break to hear from our sponsor, the Iowa Soybean Association and the Soy Checkoff. When we come back, I talk with Cynthia Farmer of the Center for Rural Affairs. This is Ag Matters PM.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
Welcome back to Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. Recently had the chance to visit with Cynthia Farmer of the Center for Rural Affairs about cover crop cost share program funding that is available for farmers through the Iowa Department of Agriculture and Land Stewardship. Had a conversation about how to get involved with that, as well as why it's important to encourage producers to engage more of those cover crop and conservation practices on their farms. Well, we're here with Cynthia Farmer. She's the Senior Policy Associate with the Center for Rural Affairs here in Iowa. And of course, Cynthia, great to have you on today. We're talking today about the cover crop cost share program. Tell us a little bit about, first off, how this program works for farmers.
Yeah, we here at the Center for Rural Affairs are super excited to help promote a program through the Iowa Department of Agriculture and Land Stewardship that truly demonstrates Iowa's leadership on conservation and water quality. And so with that, we have folks on our team that specifically focus on agriculture and conservation. And so knowing that, we believe that this program helps support the producers who play a large part in the rural communities that we're supporting. And so through the program, farmers and producers are able to apply for cost share efforts for what they're planning for this upcoming fall on their fields. And so the incentive involves cover crops, but also some tillage practices that can help them with some financial incentive.
So then more specifically, what exactly, or I guess how exactly is that cost share working for farmers? How much are they getting for that cost share?
Great question. Yeah, it's actually a $5 increase compared to last year for the cover crops. So if a new farmer or a farmer is using cover crops for the first time, they're eligible for $30 per acre. And then if it's a person that has, or a farmer or producer that has used cover crops in the past, they're eligible for $20 per acre. And then regarding those tillage practices, a farmer that's using strip till or no till, they're eligible for $10 per acre. And then there's another new piece of it this year as well with the first time users of a nitrogen inhibitor with their fall fertilizer, they can have an additional $3 per acre. Unfortunately, the incentive is limited for just 160 acres per participant. And these dollars can't be double dipped with other NRCS acres that are currently being covered. So it's all kind of like trying to get more folks to do more on the acres and looking at the first time users or folks that aren't currently participating in a program right now.
And let's talk a little bit too on the importance of being able to encourage farmers and maybe make that a little easier for them to adopt these practices, because not only are we promoting a bit of a financial support there as well, but this is great for the environment. That's obviously something that is a huge priority here in Iowa.
Certainly. And as farmers are planning for that upcoming season, we want them to know that there's financial assistance available, but also that technical assistance piece as well. just growing up on a farm, I know there's sometimes it's a time crunch to be able to get some of these things done. And knowing that farmers can go to their local soil and water conservation district, and those folks are certainly the experts that will be able to help farmers and producers get signed up for this, and help them submit their applications as well, is super critical in getting more things on the ground so that we can improve or influence, the soil health that's happening on the ground, in addition to the water quality as well.
So then, speaking of getting involved, how can our farmer listeners start that process and see if they are eligible?
Yeah, so this program is made available by the Iowa Department of Agriculture and Land Stewardship's Water Quality Initiative. And so, even though I'm not the expert, like I was saying, we encourage farmers to go to their local soil and water conservation district offices, and those folks will be able to provide resources, answer any questions, and then help them get that application ready to go and submit it even. So we direct them to their local soil and water conservation district office.
And then, Cynthia, is there anything else our listeners and viewers should know about today regarding the Center for Rural Affairs, or anything else that you guys have going on?
Yeah, we'd love to share, just to wrap things up. It's at the heart of what we do to focus on promoting vibrant rural communities. And so when it comes back to some of these programs that relate to soil health and water quality, we know that those factors help build a resilient farm. And those things are what build resilient, strong communities in rural Iowa. And so to learn more about what we're doing in the agriculture and conservation space, feel free to visit our website for the Center for Rural Affairs at cfra.org.
All right, Cynthia, thank you so much for taking the time to visit with us today, and good luck as you guys continue with this cover crop cost share program.
Thanks so much for having me.
That again was Cynthia Farmer of the Center for Rural Affairs. And that's all the time we have for Ag Matters PM today. Thanks again for tuning in. You can find all of our content on our website at iowaagnet.com. Also follow us on social media, X, Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok, and find our video content as well as previous episodes of AM/PM on our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell to see when those videos go live. Don't forget as well our free morning, midday, and closing market podcasts, as well as Pods of Potential and the Iowa Ag Matters podcast. You can find those on your favorite podcasting service at Apple, Amazon, Google, Spotify, and Podbean. From the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network studios in Des Moines, I'm Riley Smith. On behalf of Quentin Slater, Mark Magnuson, Dustin Huffman, and Andy Peterson, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.